Okay, guys. Well, again, thank you for joining me here. We got lesson number 2, short shots. Calling it short shots because we're going to do chipping and pitching and bunker shots. So we're going to be a little bit related. Hopefully, I've got a way to kind of simplify between the two. I guess first off, I always like to start with a question or two, right? So, Charlie, I want you to tell me whether you're a person who takes one club in any situation and just does a different kind of shot, or are you the kind of person who will pick a different club according to what kind of short?
I'd say overall I'll pick different.
Use different clubs. Okay. Try to use the same swing with different clubs. How about you, Doc?
Primarily one club.
Yeah. You kind of have a favorite club, but the situation calls for something else. Right?
Yeah.
How about you, John?
Different clubs, different swings.
Yeah. Okay.
About the same club.
About the same club.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I am a person who uses one club. I have a 52 degree that's bent to 54, and I use that for every shot. When I'm inside of 60 yards, it's the only club I can go for. So, not that there's a wrong way or a right way. I will use that. I mean, the thing about it is, there's not a whole lot of golf courses around here for me that have big enough greens that I can't run this to the back part of the green the way that I do it. And I'll show it to you. And so let's start off here. Let me do a little demonstration on. Let me have you guys stand right over here. You see me? On. Does everybody know the difference between a chip and a pitch? So, like, one's going to run and one's going to check, right? The pitch makes a pitch mark. That's the simplest way for me to. That's the way I like to explain it to people, right? And a pitch mark is going to bite. So a pitch spins, and the pitch is the one that you see the pros hit that everybody loves. Stopper. I'm not going to necessarily show you that one because that takes a lot of practice and everything, but I will show you one that's going to not roll out as much as the chip. Okay? So for me, I use my putter grip, which is Tiger's putter grip. It's the same thing I use on my putter. I'm kind of going to teach you a way to go away from the typical way that people will show you how to chip, where they lean the shaft really hard forward, got their stance wide open, and they've got a lot of forward shaft lean. We're going to go away from that because I believe the leading edge is very hard to predict. And anytime you bring the shaft that far forward, you're asking for some kind of difficult shots.
Is this using the bounce?
Yes. We're going to be trying to use the bounce as much as possible. So, in order to use the bounce, so what the bounce is just, this measure, this angle right here that the sole creates. This wedge that I've bent here, it started out at 8 degrees bounce, and now I've added 2 degrees. It's now 10 degrees bounce. I'm in the process of getting a lob wedge that has 11 degrees bounce. So I like a lot of bounce. I don't necessarily take a big divot. I just feel like that bounce is good for spin purposes. What do you have there, Doc? Your 58 there, it's pretty low. It's an 8. It's not too bad, though. Is that the one you use a lot? Yeah. You got a 56-14. That's great. That's going to be good out of the sand for sure. Charlie, your sand wedge there is probably, ping usually goes pretty high. They're usually probably about a 12. They don't advertise it, but they give you a lot of bounce on most of their clubs. What's your 56 degree there, John?
Well,
Yeah. So we'll try to use that one a little bit, and basically it's going to be a similar swing. It's going to be very much a shoulder, similar to a putting stroke swing, kind of focusing on up here in your shoulders, back of your neck, kind of being the center point of the swing. And the major difference between the two is on the pitch, we're going to hold off the heel, okay? Kind of like a bunker shot almost, leaving the club face open, getting the heel going towards the target. And then on the chip, where we want it to run, we're going to let the toe chase towards the target. That's going to be the difference between the two. See if I can perform. How about that? Tight line. It's tough. So, I'm going to rotate the shoulders. The good thing, the best part about the bounce, the absolute best thing about the bounce, is that you don't have to be perfect. When you're using that leading edge, that edge has to be right where the ball and the ground meet, and it has to be perfect. When you're using this bounce, even though you don't hit a perfect shot, you still get a pretty decent result out of it. So, I'm trying to get back there to the back. I'm going to let this toe roll over. Still using my shoulders to kind of gauge the distance. I am getting the leading edge a little bit involved in this. It's hard not to when you're rolling the toe over. But I'm also, you'll notice my finish there, I'm not holding it off like people have taught in the past, right? Letting that toe roll over. That's simple enough? Yeah?
where are you trying to contact the ball? You said hit the ball on the ground. Hit the ball.
I'm trying to get as little ground as possible, probably.
You want to contact the ball first.
Yeah, when there's green grass and I'm out here practicing, I don't even need to make a divot. I'm trying not to make a divot. Okay? So, one more time here. Let's split up, we have two of you here and two of you there. And so we'll do a pitch shot here to this whole location, and then a chip shot to the longer one. Okay. Let's hit two apiece, and then we'll flip. That way everybody's getting both shots. Yeah, this one you're cupping. Yeah.
You setting your weight on your front or back?
Favor more towards the front.
Okay.
John, hit a couple towards that long one for me. I'll get you over here. Keep it open. And get that a little too far, Charles. Right in here.
Yeah. Never up, never in. Put that T at the back of it, like this.
The shoulder swing just like a putt.
See, that's my tendency right there. Big fan. Yeah, like you don't get this
That's
whole
what-
button.
that's what-
hit too.
That's what-
okay. Middle one doesn't count. There you go.
John, you can come over this line. Charlie, you can go over that one.
I want to hit one more here.
Okay.
I didn't like the result of the last.
Okay. Larry, hit a couple to the long bend for me there. It's tough on this grass here, but good. That's it right there.
Yeah, I make it get it.
Yeah. You go hit down on it and pinch it just right.
You're not. Hey, Charlie. Jack is a different club for the long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You not like rolling it over, you like holding it a little more.
I'd use less long club.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the sandwich is hard to slow it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There, Johnny. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, guys. Hit a couple more. Nice. Just take that a little bit further. Just get that onto the green a little bit further. Okay, let's get more up in here. Okay, a little more shoulder. So, to do that, a good way is just you pick the club up off the ground. Just put it onto your shoulders here. And so now, you have nothing but your shoulders. So if you kind of feel this a little bit, get that feeling. Okay? Okay, but go ahead and do it some more there. You gotta do the finish half too, right? You're just kind of coming back to the ball there. So come all the way. Good. Okay. Set in your posture a little bit better. Let's get your knees bent, bending at your hips a little more. Good. Oops. Good posture. Good. Better. There you go. A little too far, right? That's good. One more for me.
No finish. I'm thinking I need more wrist.
Can you get that one back there, dog? Can
But
you get it back there using your 58?
Oh, I tend to hold this one up too.
Yeah. Just hit it further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, I think he's.
Which one? Yeah.
I'd be putting this. Yeah, I would too.
In most cases, we would be putting this, but we're trying to learn something, right?
You're kidding.
There you go, Larry. Nice.
Now, if I was going to roll it, then here's the trouble.
John, if you want to hit a couple out there from that side or something, you can, right here.
Okay. That's what I have to played.
Good. Okay. Let's get a little bit smoother, a little bit longer. Okay. And just no hands. Make it throw that ball. Nice big swing.
Two chipping.
There you go. Okay. Nice and smooth. Like you're gonna slip it under. Yeah. Perfect. See, especially with this technique, quick and a handsy move is really bad. When I start really doing it right, nice long slow swing is even better because it's really like, especially on the pitch.
Now, you no hands.
On the chip, it's a little bit different because you got to roll the face over, right? So,
Okay.
but there's no hit. There's just a little rolling with the forearms, probably. So it's still.
See,
still
I'm
probably no
gonna
hit.
roll it back there. I call this a chip too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a chip. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying now? Do I want to? So
You're almost
bringing
in a
that
long
club
pitch.
You're bringing it pretty low. I was saying.
Yeah.
To get no dip. See, I tend to come up and down on it.
Okay.
No hands. I'm handsy too.
Good.
When do you make the change from a regular grip to your putter grip? How far out?
That's a great question. I actually will use my putter grip as far as 40, 50 yards out.
Really?
Every time you got it.
Yeah.
Try that. That's what little hip that's right-handed, Charlie. Right-handed.
There you go.
It's Charlie. This goes past there.
There you go.
Make the toe.
Good, Larry.
Stand it up more like it's
Good. Nice. Perfect. Yeah, right? Good job.
That wasn't show. Go on. That wasn't show.
Let's see a bigger, smoother swing. Longer. There you go. See, it doesn't have to be a hit. It's more just slipping it underneath, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, Charlie. I believe that's a good thing. Doesn't have to be a hit. Don't have to hit it. That's not strong. It's a hit, man.
Nice. Okay, guys, so here's the deal on how to practice this. Okay? The best way that I can tell you to practice only thing that you need to think about doing when you're hitting these chip shots, either one, the chip shot or the pitch shot, is I want you to think about this area right in here. Okay? You should be able to wear out a spot. Right? Okay? Wear out a spot, figure out what the result is, and then you can use that on the golf course. But worrying about it going in the hole or around the hole is not going to help you here. Because sometimes the result isn't that great, even though you've hit a great shot. Do you agree with that? I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but I think it's more important to know how to hit your spot. That's really great. Okay? So, when you practice this, say 2 or 3 times a week, 30 minutes. Yeah. Worry about hitting your spot. Okay? Things I like to use. I've got a couple of things over here. Right here. I got a 50-cent frisbee. Makes perfect sense. Right? You know, this is what you need to worry about. Hitting this on that pitch shot. Doc, on the pitch shot there, that's what he needs to be thinking about. John, you over there, that's what you need to think about the white glove on. What's that? Yeah,
Or you just want me to try to hit that, forget that thing, right?
Forget the pin.
Okay, just try to hit that. Okay, gotcha.
You know?
Justin, do you have your pins up or lower on this shot?
As far as like fly angle kind of. I just have them relaxed down. I mean, I would not say up, but just hanging relaxed, like putting kind of. I'm not making a concerted effort to make them lower. Nice, big swing, Joe. Give me a big swing. It's nice and smooth. You're going to hit right on the face. Perfect. You know? It's when that herky jerkiness comes, is when you're going to hit the blade and the fat one. Nice and smooth. And that's good. It's just, it needs to be longer.
Good shot.
This is a situation I would never tell you on a putt to have a nice long backswing. But here, I feel like you need a little bit bigger backswing. Because we like that smoothness coming through. When you go with a short backswing, that's when that hit comes, right?
Trying to catch up and hit it far.
Yeah. So give me a nice long backswing. Smooth. Attaboy. That's how you do it.
Oh, I just did it a minute ago.
What do you think, Doc?
I'm gonna work on this.
Yeah?
Actually, I'm close to hitting that frisbee.
That's practice. Hitting the frisbee's practice. Distance.
That's the same as going over there. You still got to have a distance.
Yeah. Look at it this way, Doc. In this way, whatever course you take this to, all you got to do now is make your adjustment on your spot. Right?
Right.
When you're thinking about the hole, I don't know.
Kind of like a
Yeah,
gotta
a
be able to
singular
hit it to the
adjustment.
spot that you want to go
Yeah.
to get the results that
Yeah. What do you think, John? Getting better, worse? Hate it? Yeah.
I can't get the plug. Well, I don't have any confidence.
Now, don't get me wrong. If we were playing for money right here, this isn't the shot I would use either.
And hit that damn frisbee at the time. I think I hit that ball 3 times, Charlie.
Not tired of this yet?
No.
Yeah.
Hit the frisbee.
Nice. What do you think, Larry? You like this?
Yeah.
Is it getting better?
Well, I seem like it.
Good.
Yeah, do that.
Probably wasn't the best ball in the world. Hey! Did it twice.
What, that was-
Get the point, though, right? Good. Nice, Larry. That's good. Oh, yeah? Okay. So let's move back to the chip. Okay? Let's go back to the long hole. And get these out of the way. And now, John's right, changing clubs is a great way to get it to roll out a little bit more. But really, you're just hitting a pitch with a different club, right? Good. You don't have to change clubs. I would actually prefer that you didn't. Just for the purposes of learning the technique I'm showing you. Pretty like this going over here. Okay, so there's lots of hit there, Larry.
A lot of hit.
A lot of hit. So let's get it smooth. So a little longer again. We're not really. I'm sorry. You can keep it in the middle. You're still just hitting it to here. But now I just want you to let your forearms release through. Okay? Good. That's it right there. Hit it. Dog with a 50 58, you may have to go further than that.
Well, I can do this time.
Yeah.
Run it back there.
Run it back there.
All right.
Get it on the green as quick as we can and then running it all the way back there. Good job. Huh? Use your 50? Okay. What you got there, Charlie? Dead wedge? Good. Let's take the head out. Okay? Big smooth swing, just let that club roll over.
What caused you to hit it twice?
D-cell. Catching a lot of turf. Holding it off versus letting it go. Good. Do you feel the main difference versus the soft shot to there and the longer rolling out to there? Yeah. Yeah. Let's say you have to carry that shot. You're still running it and checking it.
Here's what
Yeah.
I think this is what
Yeah. Here's. Yeah.
kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Here's the difference between those two, Doc. What I would worry about the way that you do it. You're relying on a certain amount of spin for your shot. That downward
I
hit.
guess, but
Yeah.
it just all, just compared to the way it's done.
Right, sure.
So it just,
But it could spin differently. Could catch one groove versus another. And here you're just kind of getting it on and rolling. That's why I like this better. Does that make sense?
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, you don't have to be perfect. As long as you pick out a spot and your shoulder turn is kind of towards that spot, that contact is almost going to make up for itself. That shot's going to roll a little more, might land a little short of your spot, but it's going